And we're going to end it on a fun one. I also really like Bowfinger. I
Oh
think
yeah, that is a good one. I forgot about that movie.
written by Steve Martin, who also stars, directed by Frank Oz, who I think is one of the great comedy directors who doesn't get enough recognition. The concept, again, great concept to this movie, just like The Player. It's about a washed up director, played by Steve Martin, who decides to make this crazy, ridiculous science fiction movie starring a major Hollywood actor, played by Eddie Murphy. But Eddie Murphy doesn't want to do the movie, so his solution is he's just going to make it anyway and try to stage the film around this guy's everyday life without his knowledge. So it is about, you know, the lengths to which he goes to make this movie happen without the leading actor being aware that he's in this film. And it's also about how the Eddie Murphy character has this sort of tenuous grip on reality to begin with. And as these increasingly bizarre things start to happen around him, which he doesn't understand what they are or why they're happening, how it sort of starts to drive him over the edge. It's a much kinder film than something like The Player. It doesn't quite go all the way in its satire, but I'm okay with that. You know, it's a movie that wants you to like its characters. It wants to have a happy ending, and you know, that's okay. Not every movie has to be The Player, but it's one with great comic set pieces in it, great characters. Eddie Murphy, I think, gives one of his best dual performances in this. You talked about Eddie Murphy being an underappreciated performer. Both of his performances, but especially his second performance as the double that is hired to play the famous actor in scenes, you know, where he doesn't have to do anything major, but who for some reason is just that actor's exact double, also played by Eddie Murphy, and is just this, you know, lovable geek, you know, with glasses and braces, and is just so happy to be working on a film that, you know, he's willing to risk his life at times and still just shrug it off and be like, oh, well, I'm making a movie. This sure is great. It's a character that could have easily been just a broad comic caricature, but Eddie Murphy actually makes him into a believable person. He finds like all of these nuances of like his speech patterns, his body language, you know, he actually makes him into a totally believable human being, which makes him even funnier when he's put into all of these ridiculous situations. So if you're looking for a fun one, I think Bowfinger is a pretty underappreciated one too.